Sports pregame show.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and a very special holiday wish from all of us here at 2K Sports.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Ernie Johnson and Shaq and Kenny.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, it's
Shaka Claus.
What a festive day it is. In this game, we'll see the Oklahoma City Thunder against the Chicago Bulls. Last outing for the Bulls, unsuccessful, coming away with a loss to the Nets in Brooklyn. They suffered an upset loss, perhaps a loss of focus, but you can be certain that won't be the case tonight. From all of us here at 2K, Merry Christmas!
Ho, ho, ho!
Nowhere I would rather be on this day than here with you guys.
I got a couple other places, but this is not bad either.
You know
I
what
got
I
a
got
couple
for
other
Christmas,
places,
Ernie?
got a couple other guys.
You know what I got
a couple
for
other
Christmas
people.
this morning?
What'd you give?
Not a dang thing.
No?
I'm
No
Santa,
gifts?
I'm Santa Claus. Santa Claus don't get gifts.
Oh. Well, it sure is great to be here and be watching NBA hoop, isn't it,
It
fellas?
is, buddy. It sure is.
Well, I appreciate the helicopter, Santa, that you got me today.
That wasn't Santa. That was me.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
Well, I think the game's just about ready to start. So what do you say we go to Kevin Harlan?
Yeah.
Good idea.
I
Kev.
didn't buy that for you. You gotta return it.
Welcome to a special presentation of the NBA on Christmas Day here on 2K Sports. We want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. It's getting noisy here in Oklahoma City. We're at the peak, the Chesapeake Energy Arena. Home of the Thunder. Try as they might, they've fallen behind the pack, but a chance here to reclaim some ground. It might be tough, but this is a team they're capable of beating.
It's always fun to be at home, Kevin. Home sweet home is what I like to call it, but you know what? They've got a tough visitor in the house tonight, and just because they're at home doesn't mean a win is going to automatically show up on the scoreboard. They've got their work cut out for them against this opponent here.
Yeah, and you know what? This wouldn't necessarily have been the first opponent you'd like to kick off a homestand, so you've got that to contend with, especially with the way they've been playing here of late. This is going to be a challenge.
Now let's take a look at the Bulls' opening lineup. And small and power forward, it's Dunleavy and Gasol. Jennings out there with Levine, and it's Hibbert in at the 5. Now here's Jennings. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn.
And Kevin, a remarkable night for him passing the basketball as well. He did a great job racking up the assists.
And he hits it and gets hacked on the play. A 3-point possibility if he can convert the free throw.
Shots
I
good.
tell you what, guys, it's going to be a
Shooting
tough
one.
day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Hey, for Zach LaVine, the dunk contest last season was his coming out party to the world. He put on a show that everybody in the NBA was buzzing about.
And for Levine and his dunking, if you saw him in college or last season, you knew he was a very special player in the air.
Well, Levine can be one of the great all-time dunkers with his height and ability to lift off. He gets airborne so effortlessly that there are few that can match his power and finesse once he's airborne.
4 on the shot clock. Sullinger, so the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And really a fantastic season for Sullinger last year. Really made some leaps forward, but missed a lot of time still due to injury.
Sullinger did continue to improve last year, Clark, but you can't ignore that he had to miss time once again.
Yeah, and you hope that he'll be able to stay healthy for a full year at some point. When he's on the floor, he's a hard matchup for just about every team in the league.
And for Sullinger last season, further indication, Clark, that he needs to keep working on his conditioning.
And that was a concern coming into the league with Jared, is just how committed would he be to working on his body all the time and maintaining the level of conditioning that he needs. And injuries have been a part of that not being the case, but when he's out there, he's capable.
And talking about Sullinger, you wonder if he's been in the right scheme for the past couple of years. He's not a three-point shooter. He's a back-to-the-basket banger. You want proof? Only hit 28% from behind the arc last season, and that was his career high.
And the wide open shot from Paul on the 3 off target.
You know, 9 times out of 10, he's going to knock that one down. He'll spray that one on you.
Levine passes to Dunleavy. 11 feet away, Jared Sullinger grabs the board.
You know, on the topic of Sullinger, guys, he said publicly that people are doubting him. And he's right. I mean, until he gets in better shape and stays that way, there will always be questions surrounding that part of his game. Hopefully for him going forward, he can be more Duncan than Diop in the way he treats his body.
Now here's Paul. He's coming off a 16-point game against the Lakers in Los Angeles.
Yeah, not to mention the 4 big steals on the night, getting after it on both ends.
Now Jennings following Chris Paul's 3-point attempt. Hibbert with the screen on Paul. Jennings drives in. Shot is good off the back rim and in.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Now here's Paul. He's been putting up the points on a very steady basis, averaging around 17.5 points a game. And Singler kicks to Adams. And Hibbert with the block. And they get it back. Nice shot by Singler. And it's the Bulls with the ball. They trail by 1. Coming off that loss against the Nets.
Yeah, they were able to keep it close for the most part, but you could just tell they were not in sync as a unit.
Greg, you're exactly right. It couldn't have been worse, in my opinion. They didn't look fresh at any point in the game. They seemed to be flat and listless, no spark.
Here's Morrow. He's guarded by Jennings. Paul outside. Pass to Morrow. Beyond the arc. But they'll get another chance.
You know, even though he missed that one, great shooters have a way of feeling when they've got enough room to pull the trigger.
No doubt about it. The defense, you can see him exhaling right now. Fortunate that he didn't knock that one down.
Poked away. No one near Jennings as he lets it fly. Solid as a rock from 20 feet away.
He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
Paul kicks to Sullinger. They set the pick. Here's Singler. Here's Adams. And there's a nice one-handed slam. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
It reminds me of that Cameo song, Back and Forth.
Here's Levine. 26 points for him last game against Brooklyn. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession. Sullinger against Gasol. Clock at 6. Here's Levine.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
A three-pointer, no good. We know Oklahoma City has the stars, the big names, the offensive flair. But, you know, Greg, this team, and you appreciate this, is a very tough defensive group.
Yeah, I think they've matured in that area. In the past, that wasn't always true. But last year, the Thunder really hung their hat on their defense. Top 10 in opponents' field goal percentage.
And here is Paul, following Brandon Jennings' 3. Dishes it to Adams. There's a screen. There's the triple. Paul can't get it to go. Chicago leading. Here's Gasol. Got a piece of it. And taken away by Paul. And pushing it up here. Here is Oklahoma City. Morrow, no good.
Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
Levine can't hit.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Singler outside. It's up a 3. And the rebound goes to Pau Gasol. Chicago's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Jennings dishes to Hibbert. The shot's good. Jennings making the play.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket. And guys, Brandon Jennings last season looked like he was finally becoming more efficient. He shot at the upper range of his career field goal percentage from 3 and the free throw line. And then suddenly the Achilles ended his season at 41 games played. Really unfortunate.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. Getting back to Jennings last season really did start out as one of his best. Not just the improvement, Clark, in accuracy. His turnovers per game were at a career low.
Yeah, that's what we have to watch out for with Jennings. I mean, he's still only 26 years old, Kevin. Now, plenty of time to continue to refine and hone his game. I think his best basketball is in front of him.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Bargnani comes in for Steven Adams, and Nick Collison subbed in for Sullinger. Then for the Bulls, Gibson comes in for Roy Hibbert, and Mirotic subbed in for Mike Dunleavy. For Oklahoma City, their last game was a loss to the Los Angeles Lakers.
And I think they can hold their heads high from that performance, you know, despite the final score being what it was.
I agree with you. I mean, it was a tough game played in a tough environment on the road, and they were in it right until the bitter end, so that's good stuff.
And Chicago has possession. The Thunder making the shot. Rejected by Bargnani. And so it looks like the Bulls will retain possession here. Dennis Schroeder's checked in for Anthony Mark. Jennings kicks to Gibson. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Gibson the screen. Shot clock at 5. And the jam by Levine.
And Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this fella.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, you know, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself, and he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun.
Gasol with the steal. And now it's Jennings running. He can go all the way. Mirotic gets the bucket.
That was the third straight high percentage look this defense has allowed. I mean, these defenders have got to start bumping bodies in the paint. Be more physical. Be more aggressive.
The game's just far too easy right now when it comes to attacking the basket. They have got to do better.
Here's Singler after the basket by Nikola Mirotic. Now here is Singler. He has 6 on the clock. Here's Bargnani. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Jennings passes to Gibson. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And, you know, guys, Taj Gibson now has 6 full seasons in the NBA. Already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
Getting back to Gibson, he was one of the oldest college freshmen in the country at age 21. Played 3 years at USC. Then he was one of the oldest players in the 2009 draft, even though he declared as a junior.
Yeah, I think the NBA is the only profession where it hurts you to have a lot of experience coming out, you know, because that's one reason why he did drop. I mean, had he been a couple years younger, with his length and athleticism, he very well could have been a top 10 pick. But I tell you what, the Bulls are happy that he wasn't.
And the second free throw, good. And for most of his career, Taj Gibson has been a tremendous role player up front. GA, he's been extremely steady over 6 full seasons.
And Kevin, he gives you a lot of energy and athleticism when he enters the game. He's got the great length with that 7'4" wingspan. But to me, it's not just about having it. It's about the fact that he utilizes it. And it really allows him to get in there and attack the backboard and contest shots.
He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
I tell you what, I think he'd be happy if he can continue to get looks like that.
Under trailing by 7. Schroeder kicks to Payne. Deep 2 from Singler. The shot is off. And it's Chicago the other way.
Yeah, you know, talking about Gibson, he started 70 games his first year and made the all-rookie team. But thereafter, had been mostly a six-man off the bench through last season. It happens, but it's still somewhat unusual for a guy to go backwards like that.
Mirotic gets the bucket. The Thunder shooting a mere 25% from the floor in this first quarter. Now here's Payne, guarded by Heinrich. Now Payne. And right now he's averaging about 7 points a game. That's good.
And talking about Gibson, if he ever wants to be seen as a high-level starter, he needs to work on a few things. More bankable moves in the post, more fluid post game, if you will, and really increased strength and consistency. I think those things will carry him to that starting five. And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
Schroeder kicks to Bargnani. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Gasol's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
It's still early, but they've started to establish themselves on the glass here.
Yeah, scrappy, Clark, for each and every rebound. They are not backing down.
And that one's good.
You know, they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's why they're on this run. You get that close to the hoop, and it's a lot easier to make shots.
Now here is Singer. He's got 6. Payne gets a wide open look. The shot's good. Paulson making the play. Payne's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Fred Hoiberg. What did you find out, DB?
Well, I asked him what strategy they were going to use at the offensive end, and he told me that they did not want to have to rely on their perimeter game. Instead, he plans to exploit what he described as a mismatch on the interior, saying, quote, "We have the talent inside to make things very difficult on them. We're going to use it." Kevin?
All right, Doris, thanks. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Powell to go with 18 rebounds. I mean,
right.
You rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City.
And with Powell, that 46-point game, he became the oldest player to get 45 points and 15 rebounds.
And the Bulls making a change here. Snell's checked in. .122 left to play in the first quarter.
And a final point, guys, with Powell's career game. It's crazy to think that he did it while not being the first offensive option. I mean, he had been the go-to guy with his time in Memphis for so long.
Bargnani inside the three-point line. Gets a very good look and converts.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
Brooks dishes to Gibson. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Brooks. And the Bulls lead by 9.
And boy, have they come out strong, really pounding the offensive board for second chance points.
Ultra impressive, guys. Caught them off guard, and they've taken the momentum in this game now.
Now here's Payne. Kicks it to Schroeder. From deep. The rebound by Gibson.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
They recover it to the right side. Heinrich outside. He kicks to Gibson. And a foul on the shot. They'll go to the stripe for 2.
Clearly a foul.
Yeah, he took a shot there. Earned those free throws.
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots at the game right here. The first one falls. both free throws good from Gibson. Schroeder. So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. Bulls lead by 11. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. And earlier, Chris Paul told us about the depth of their roster. So important for any team.
Our bench is amazing. It's so exciting because when our bench comes in, more often than not, if we're losing, they're going to get us the lead. And if we have the lead, they're going to increase the lead. And it's fun to watch because everybody cheers for each other, too.
When your starters feel that good about their second unit guys, that's a heck of an asset that a team can have. And if you've seen Chris Paul cheering from the bench, you know that it's very, very true.
And Kevin, that's the kind of team that's always been so much fun to play on. Everybody's really pulling for one another, no matter who's playing. Even in practice, with that kind of a team, you tend to have more fun.
And we're ready to get rolling once again here for our Christmas Day matchup. And a comfortable margin for the Bulls here, guys.
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So for Chicago right now, the forward combination of Dunleavy and Gibson. Levine is out there with Jennings. And it's Hibbert in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. And around a minute gone here in the second quarter. Ball against Jennings. Layup off the bench. Got that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut to just 9 on the basket from Paul.
You know, and Billy Donovan, the Oklahoma City Thunder, were able to pull him away from the college game last season, signed him to a 5-year deal in the middle of last year's playoff.
Shots good by Gibson. Here's Paul. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Schroeder with the ball. Sullinger the screen. He got right to the cup using that screen. Schroeder's got 5.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Here's Levine. 7 points in the game. It's tipped. Here's Morrow. Pass to Sullinger. Hibbert against Paul. Sullinger the screen. Just 5 to shoot. Elbow shot is on the way. And Hibbert with the block. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Pau Gasol's checked in for Taj Gibson. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Outside Jennings. Hibbert with the screen. Jennings passes to Levine. They get it back. Hibbert gets the bucket. Hibbert's got the lead up to 11 now for the Bulls.
Their rebounding has been off the charts today, guys. Reason number one, this game is out of hand.
Exactly, Clark. Their lead is not surprising given their advantage on the backcourt.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Here's Adams. Roy Hibbert picking up that last basket, and he gets it to go.
How about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
Yeah, we call that playing through the whistle. You know, he didn't give up on it when he heard the whistle. He kept his focus, his concentration, and he found a way to get the shot up and down.
Kiwi Steven Adams, one of the toughest players down on the block.
And Kevin Adams is not afraid to get under somebody's skin. He's pretty strong defensively, too.
They throw good, Adams.
And, you know, guys, that's one of the things I like about Adams. I mean, he'll draw the ire of opposing players just because of how he approaches the game.
And that one's good. And the Bulls lead by 10.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
Sullinger, the screen. Ball against Jennings. The dish to Morrow. Here's the screen, and a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Morrow's got his first 3 points of the game.
Yeah, and guys, Adams doesn't want to be known as a dirty player. I mean, I think he feels he plays aggressive and he hustles and ran his man straight into the screen and got a clear path to the bucket.
That is how it is done.
Excellent team play there on the pick, and then he ripped it down.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. The feed to Morrow. He dishes it to Schroeder. To the inside, Sullinger. The open shot, Paul, and he wills that one in, sinking right through off the back iron.
He's just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Jennings drives in. Can't get it to go. Good work defensively by Paul. From deep, Morrow. It's rebounded by Roy Hibbert. Hibbert's got his third rebound on the night. Here's Levine. 9 points in the game so far. 14 feet away. Outside Gasol. Good on the shot. Gasol's got 6. Thunder trailing by 9. And here is Paul. Sullinger the screen. Paul kicks to Morrow. Down low. Here's Sullinger. Chicago grabs the miss. Gasol's got 6 rebounds here tonight. The pass to Dunleavy. Feeds to Gasol. And it's in off the backboard. And now an 11-point Chicago lead.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
There's a good screen. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Roy Hibbert picks one up. After a rookie season in which he really struggled, Dennis Schroeder made big strides last year.
Yeah, I think pretty much dramatic improvements across the board, Kevin. Really a most improved candidate for sure. He solidified that reserve unit for the Hawks, in my opinion.
That's good from Schroeder.
And Schroeder still with room to grow. I mean, he needs to improve his three-point shot and cut down his turnovers. But those are things that often come with time. And he's got time, still very young at this stage of his career.
Schroeder hits them both.
And for Schroeder, not a great outside shooter yet, but he's an attack guard. I mean, blinding speed, very slippery, eel-like. He gets into that lane and can make a defense collapse in a heartbeat. That alone is where his value is right now.
Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups for them in that series, but they were able to prevail.
Passes it to Jennings. Gasol kicks to Dunleavy. They set the pick. He feeds it to Jennings. No good on the three.
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly. Eventually pulled it together and came in as the underdogs against the Cavs. I really like the fact that he's getting the touches he needs here after not scoring a single point in that first quarter.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Singler's checked in.
And the Cavs knocked out the Bulls in 6 games. Bulls went up 2-1 in the series, but didn't have an answer for LeBron. Strong effort from the Bulls, though, but they just couldn't match the firepower of the Cavs.
Hibbert with a screen on Paul. Right side Gasol. Good D by Sullinger.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Now here's Paul. He has 7. Sullinger dishes to Paul. Singler for 3. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
The mechanics totally out of whack right now. He's lost his feel for the shot.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, just totally out of sync. I mean, you can just see it in the numbers. Nothing going down for him right now.
And Gasol gets it to go.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
Thunder trailing by 8. Sullinger inside, defended by Gasol. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Bean passes to Jennings. Pass to Gasol. The shot's good. Jennings making the play. And that's 12 points for Pau Gasol.
And fellas, in this quarter, he's improved on what was already a very good performance in period number 1.
Paul outside. Six on the shot clock. Fires from deep. Can't get it to go. Great D that time from Jennings.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's cost him.
Levine can't hit.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Here's Morrow. He gives a bit of a scoring lift to the team, averaging 8 points a game. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls Clark had playoff experience prior to their postseason run a season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, 2-time champion in the locker room, big, as is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball requires.
Well, you look back on the Thunder last season, and the theme was injuries. Too many injuries to the bulk of their core.
And, you know, the big 3, Durant, Westbrook, and Ibaka, all missed significant time. Only Westbrook of those 3 was able to finish the season.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Bargnani comes in for Sullinger, and it's Payne in for Anthony Morrow. He makes 1 of 2 that time.
And listen, those injuries really did the Thunder in. I mean, at no time during the season did they ever really get a chance to gel and play any stretch of games with their entire roster.
Thunder trailing by 9. Payne kicks to Singler. Dishes it to Payne. Pass to Bargnani. fades and shoots, and he gets it to go.
You know, every franchise will have a year that is just lost to injuries. I mean, it happens. The hard part of it for the Thunder is that it happened while so many of their stars are in their prime.
And Brooks, here we go. And it's blocked. And it's out of bounds. Chicago retaining possession. Nick Collison's checked in for Oklahoma City. And Chicago also making a switch. Taj Gibson's checked in for Pau Gasol. Here's Snell. He's covered by Zingler. 4 on the clock. Heinrich inside the three-point line. Out to the right wing. Snell from outside. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Victory eluded them last time in Chicago when they faced the Bulls.
Yeah, and last time out, they sort of shot themselves in the foot with the foul trouble. That was what led to them having such an ugly scoreline.
And Greg, the foul trouble was a big chunk of it. I mean, it's hard to mount a comeback when all your key guys, your main players, are watching from the bench.
Mirotic, the screen. Brooks kicks to Mirotic. Can't hit. And the Thunder going the other way now. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one. That'll be the second of 4 games at home for him. Kicks it to Paul. 1:57 left in the first half of the game. Misses the 3.
You know, they built their lead here by doing all the little things well.
And one of those little things, Clark, has been rebounding. They've come out and taken complete control of that glass.
Thunder trailing by 7. Zingler outside. 1:36 left in the first half of basketball. Collison dishes to Paul. Paul can't get that one to fall. Chicago leading by 7. Brooks, the pass to Mirotic. The drive by Brooks. He kicks it to Gibson. 3-pointers. Snell. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
With this lead, they're playing confidently, showing a quick trigger from beyond.
Yeah, and perimeter shots, though, Greg, not really falling at a good clip here. So I think they may have to back out of that a bit and not settle for those jump shots.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
There's got to be some defensive help there. I mean, the size difference is just too great.
The dish to Bargnani. Gibson with the steal. Paul against Brooks. Gibson with the screen on Paul. Brooks kicks to Gibson. That drops and it comes off an assist from Brooks. Brooks has got 3 assists now in this one. Thunder trailing by 14. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Picked by Bargnani. Zingler dishes to Collison. Pops loose off the pick and hammers it home.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screen play. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
That's his first personal foul.
Bulls shooting their 6th and 7th free throw attempts tonight.
And they've had really good numbers all season from the free throw line.
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line.
And both free throws good for Brooks. Payne. And the first half is now in the books. It's Chicago as they end the second quarter with a 13-5 run. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Roy, what's been working out here in the first half for you guys?
We're limiting them to one shot, trying to get in their passing lanes and make everything tough for them on ball. If we keep this up, we'll be all right tonight.
Roy, great job in the first half. We'll see if you can sustain it. Guys, over to you.
Thank you for the great interview, Doris. We'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Pau Gasol has been getting it done. He had 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 steal. After missing last game, it was clearly evident he wanted to make his mark tonight. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
I love the way they're getting after it in the paint. Moving bodies, attacking the rim, scoring at will. Sometimes teams try to hurt you with the 3-ball. They went right for the heart of the defense. Look at them to keep pounding it inside and staying physical.
And big fella, let's get your thoughts on the Thunder.
They relied way too heavily on the three-point shot in the first half. Their long-range game was off. That's my off sound, Ernie. They were off, but they still settle for the outside shots. They got to put more pressure on the defense by pounding it inside and attacking the basket.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We will see you after the game.